Okay, but I want you to look at that. I want you to look at that because that's how they harness. Remember the synchronicity. Remember the patterns of inevitability.
Right.
You get the children to believe that they're stepping up in class when they are organized. The mind becomes real funny when it believes it's being initiated. Oh, I'm getting something special. I'm becoming something special. I'm being initiated. I'm going to become this, and I'm that, and you're not. So understand, they already have implanted the elitism in you. But remember, we're dealing with spiritual energies, and that we're dealing with words as lockdown frequencies. So, when we start speaking about black Greeks, we are speaking about how the Illuminati create an undetectable, total mind control slave. And they start with the college. They start in the colleges. In fact, they start even before then. So let's investigate what the Greeks are about. And I know they're going to hate me. Y'all going to hate the kid, and I know they're Greeks sitting among us, but I've got to do it. It ain't because I hate you, it's because I love you. This is not hate. Okay? I don't got no time for hate. I don't hate homosexuals. I don't hate lesbians and feminists. I don't hate Christians. I don't hate Muslims. I don't hate nobody. I ain't got no time. That's too much energy. What I am is a town crier. If I see something that just don't look right, and you give me a microphone, I'm going to say something about it. It's in my nature. And it's not because I'm going to say something about it because I don't like you. I don't like what you got on and your breath. And ain't got shit to do with it. Everything you see me put up here, I take nights. Sometimes I don't sleep for 2 days. I defy anybody to not sleep for 2 days and be on their ass researching. When it's gone up, the sun came down, the sun came up, the sun went down, and I didn't know what time it was. Understand that this is not from any kind of personal issues I have with anybody that I'm about to discuss. I am looking at the detrimental thinking patterns that have been created in our communities and what is bringing us down spiritually and taking us away from the projected path that the Creator itself have given to us to follow. Come on, man. Now somebody will say, well, who the hell appointed you? Nobody appointed me. If it doesn't make sense, then tell me where it is. I asked feminists to step to me and give me their side of the equation. Nobody want to step up. I asked Christians to step forward and tell me whether or not this Christian entity, this beast called Jesus Christ, existed. Ain't nobody stepped forward yet. They can't because he never existed. And one of the popes said, this is a profitable illusion. This is a profitable myth that we have created called Jesus Christ. It's been real profitable to us. Understand that we are not, I don't care anymore, as Brother said, Brother Griff said. You can't care anymore. It's not about this. It's about this and what it is that you're passing on through this. Black Greeks. Now, I came upon this quote. Now, listen carefully to this, people. This is deep. Brother said, it was Brother Purnell. He said, alpha men display Greek love. I really don't want him down know where it's coming from. Alpha men, this is very important, peeps. Alpha men display Greek love. We're all in this together. Without them, there is no us. If we do not keep our history, in that intact, nobody will. One. So, alpha men display Greek love. I can hear Barry White now. Listen carefully. Let's go to a book that says The Greeks and Greek Love. This is a quote. Classic scholars James Davison offers a brilliant, unblushing exploration of the passion that permeates. Using homosexuality as a lens, Davison sheds new light on every aspect of Greek culture, from politics and religion to art and war, with stunning erudition and irresistible wit, and without moral judgment. Davidson has written the first major examination of homosexuality in ancient Greece since the dawn of the modern gay rights movement. What exactly did same-sex love mean in a culture that had no word or concept comparable to our term homosexuality? How sexual were these attachments? When Greeks spoke of love between men and boys, how young were the boys? How old were the men? This is in this book. What's it called? Okay, with refreshing candor, humor, and an astonishing command of Greek culture, Davidson examines how this passion played out in the myths of Ganymede and Cephalus, in the lives of archetypal Greek heroes such as Achilles, Hercules, and Alexander, in the politics of Athens and the army of lovers that defended Thebes. He considers the sexual peculiarities of Sparta and Crete, the legend and the truth surrounding Sappho, and the relationship between Greek athletes and sexuality. Let's go back to that again. Alpha men display Greek love. See, even if they don't understand it, they are being entrained. Remember, the reality is created by the words that you semantically implant, and of course the rituals that go in to reinforce it. Okay? Overstand. So let's move on a little bit further to examine Alpha Greek love. Let's go to this book called Male Love, a problem in Greek ethics and other writings. Author John Simons wrote one of the first essays in defense of homosexuality in the English language called A Problem in Greek Ethics in 1883. A follow-up essay in 1891, A Problem in Modern Ethics, includes proposals for reforming anti-homosexual legislation. These essays were widely read by an underground of homosexual writers and continued to be secretly published and distributed decades after his death. Some of his other personal writings and letters were finally published in the late 20th century and of great interest to historians for the candid descriptions of a, quote, unspeakable sexual culture which existed against the social law of his time that regarded this love as abominable and unnatural. Oh, really? So now we are the ones that are off to it. So now, what does the Black Greeks say? Well, the Black Greeks say, you know, we are Proto-Saharians. And that the so-called Greeks were called first the Libyco-Thracians, the Pelagasian people, the Achaeans, the Cadmeans, the Legles, the Carians, and the Garamantes, the Thracians, the Danaus, the Cadmeans, the Black Amazons led by Queen Melanippe, the Eteocretians, and the Mycenaeans. Now, all of these are, according to them, black people who were Greeks. But then why are they calling themselves Thracians? Why are they calling themselves by the common terminology that was given by, or is now being reinforced by, the European? And he has put all of the different terminologies into the Kemetic. And of course, we see all of them were part of that elitist organizations. Everybody up there were Greeks. Isn't that interesting? Everybody who has made it in the society has been Greeked. Now you know Steve Coakley, one of the baddest code breakers out there. ran it down about his complicity in his murder, saying that part of the symbol, the signal, was for them to make sure that the person who were not the friendlies was wearing ties. Notice that he wasn't wearing any ties. Okay, so you see all of the people that is doing anything were in some kind of organization that can be controlled by the beast. And of course you had Stomp the Yard, so everybody was in this, man. I mean, these boys were throwing down and showing up. And bang, bang. I like that, you know, that's good. That's exhibitionism.
Right.
Okay? But what I am looking at essentially is what it is that is being displayed. What is this that it means? Alpha men display Greek love. We're all in this together. That's deep. Think about that. He's saying we're all in this together. Which means that when you define Greek love, what are we speaking about when we define Greek love? Is this the Greek handshake? Just take a little moment with that. I want you to see when these brothers talk about Greek love, it was a policy in that part of Greece. One of your more potent philosophers, as you will see in the next couple of frames. So what's that? That was the Greek handshake? Was this hanging with the homeboys? And what was this? Is this the Greek back rub? Dig the brother. Like Greeks. Remember, you are sounding out metaphysical terminologies, and because you are harmonizing with that consciousness stream, when you use those words, you harmonize your consciousness with those words, and then you begin to entrain the energies that went along with the semantics that define that reality. The Greek back rub. Well, I want you to see the Greeks. This is Big Brothers of Athenia. Socrates was a pedophile homosexual. Did you know that? Oh yes, you must have. In Greek society, especially during the Golden Age, most men seemed to be more interested in pursuing and having sexual relationships with young boys. This is a quote from a historian. Than they were to having pursuing women. While this likely seems strange to a society where the majority of men find it repulsive to think of another man as beautiful, and where until recently homosexuals and bisexuals were looked upon or down upon as being inferior, it was actually quite common and accepted in the ancient world of Greece. Pederasty, which is child molestation today, was condoned by the law. According to Plato, legal and social norms did not clearly condemn or prohibit homoeroticism. Socrates also comments on the importance of pederasty in his own life. He says, "My love for this fellow," his name is Agathon, another member of the party who is a beautiful young boy, "is not an insignificant affair." Yet another member of the party who, Alcibiades, also who is in love with Agathon and tries to discredit Socrates when he says, "Socrates is lovingly fixated on beautiful young men, is always around them and in a daze." School days. Sparta developed institutionalized homosexuality in its military training, while other cities considered homosexuality illegal. These were usually cities far to the north of Greece, and were looked at as after being inferior to most cities, especially Athens. Pausanias, or Pausanias, for example, in the Symposium, denounces these other cities as being ruled by barbarians for considering these acts shameful by law. The reason this would be looked at as unacceptable is because there were two roles in sex, the active and the passive. In ancient Greece, the partners in a homosexual relationship were physically expressed or not, whether physically